using vacation days or paid time off. According to a Harris Poll survey, Gen Z and millennials are the most likely to not use those days, but they're still taking vacations. Tom Gimbel, the vice chair of the Board of American Staffing Association, joins us to talk about the workaround for those working from home. Hello, Tom.
Micah, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Good. Well, how does this work? I mean, they're going on vacation and nobody knows?
Well, I think what's going on now is that people are working remotely, as we all know, and you and I and Ray have talked about numerous times over the past few years. However, if you can work remotely, then why tell your boss that you're going to be gone? At least that's the theory and the methodology that a lot of these folks are doing. If I'm going to go on vacation, I don't need to say I'm on vacation because I'm still going to be doing work. And even if I'm not, can't go into the office, people aren't calling me in. So it's really this fine line of playing in the gray.
What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know if there's anything wrong with it. My belief and rule of thumb, Micah, has always been this. If you can't say where you are, then maybe you shouldn't be there. And I'm all about transparency and authenticity. So if you're afraid to tell your bosses where you're at, then maybe you shouldn't be there. I think that's the real question is, where's the honesty?
How are people finding this out?
Well, I think number one, there's social media. So people, whether it's Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, people are advertising where they're at, number one. Number two is that there's an expression, Mike, I think you've heard this one, loose lips sink ships.
Yes.
There's a picture of a yacht right there or a cruise ship. So I think that people have a uncanny ability to want to tell what they're doing to others. And the gossip trail within an office goes very, very quickly.
And they have FOMO, so they get upset and then they, spill the beans, as you say. So what is to be done with this? Can it be eliminated or should it be eliminated? And also, it's the younger generation who's doing it, right?
I mean, primarily, if you had to throw it without any scientific proof, if you had to put it in a bucket, it's definitely more of the Gen Z mentality, just because other people can't move as freely. If the older you get, you have more things tying you to a geographic location, usually, whether it be family or mortgages or things like that. But I think that what can be done about it is we've got to bridge the gap between the employers and the employees. And whether it's fully remote, a hybrid, it's laying down the rules, laying down the law, if you will. And I still think there's a certain percentage of employers, because unemployment, even though it creeped up to 4% last month, it's still low. And employers are afraid of losing people. And I think when you're afraid to manage the right way, you're going to have people that take advantage of the situation and try to color outside the lines.
Is this another casualty of the pandemic?
I think we're in the last things that are hanging on. But yeah, in the pandemic, there's just people saying, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And if the employers are going to take advantage, and there's this perception that if you want people in the office, you're not being a good employer. And so employees have this want to fight back mentality instead of a feeling of we're all in this together. And to me, that's more of what it's about. We're all in this together to fight through and find what a real, honest new normal is.
If a boss finds out about this, let's go on the other end. Should they fire that employee, have a good talk with that employee, give them another chance?
Yeah, I think that comes down to the company's individual policies. My own belief as somebody who's built a company up to over 300 employees and has been a best place to work and run those types of companies is to say that you usually don't fire somebody for really, at the end of the day, a misunderstanding. Does the employee know they shouldn't? Do they think they shouldn't? But you should have a talking to. But the real problem comes for the employer is once you have that, you've then got to lay down the law for everybody. And that's the real challenge is you've got to tell people what's expected. And that's the problem. Employees, if you give them an inch, they will take a yard. And I think that if you don't want that to happen, then don't be afraid to have rules.
And speaking of rules, there's so many new rules now since the pandemic and since virtual working and working from home or wherever.
Well, Micah, I think there's been rules all along. I just think there's more ways to break them now without getting caught.
All right. Thank you, Tom. That was perfect. Tom Gimbel, the vice chair of the Board of American Staffing Association. Congratulations, my friend.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you, Micah.
Take care.
Be well.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Apple announcing